So the way that I kind of decided to show how I distributed in some of the reactions that I got was just to do it like on a PowerPoint. So my podcast was titled Sex Education in the US. Let's talk about it. So the way that I decided to kind of distribute my podcast was to just send it out to a bunch of people. On the left is a group chat I have with like 15 people from Coastal, and then the next one is the platform that I used. I shared it publicly, so anybody that came across it would be able to listen to it. And then the next two were just with some group chats that I have. The far right one was with my brother and his fiance, and then the other one in the middle was with my friends from home. I just kind of asked them to check it out. I wish I would have posted it maybe on like more of a public platform. I was a little nervous, but I think I definitely could have gotten more views if I had done it that way. But I'm still really proud of my work. So on this
I
set, I
thought the
included just a
podcast
couple
was really
of
interesting and
like
actually
video
pretty
reactions
informative.
people sent in
I was thinking about it
after
and
listening to
I
my
can't
podcast.
remember learning about
Um, to listen to
LGBTQ
them, you
plus
can just like hover over
just
them
like
and then
sexual
click them and
health or
they'll come up
anything
and
like
play.
that in high
I
school.
really
And I think that's a really
enjoyed listening
important thing
to what
as
people had to say
a lot
about
of
my
people are
podcast, and
only
I had people
exposed
text me
to
about what they thought
their
too.
sexual health and
A
stuff
lot of
through
them
school. A
had
lot of parents
positive
don't
things to
talk to
say
their
about
children about it. I know my
the
parents
inclusion
didn't.
of like LGBTQ
So I think
plus
it's really important that we bring that into the curriculum and make
curriculum
that
in sex
a
education.
step because
I
this
really
is what
enjoyed
people are still
doing this
finding themselves
podcast.
and still learning about themselves.
It
And I
almost
think it's
makes me
really
want to start
important
my own
to
podcast and talk
bring
about
that
issues,
attention
but
there as soon as possible,
yeah,
as well as with
that's
everything
it. I
with
mean, I
sexual
really
health,
enjoyed it.
how
So,
things work, how
and a
your
lot of
own
people did
body
too.
works, like what to be aware of. Also, I think it's just really important that you're taught that abstinence isn't the only way because a lot of people rely on that, and that is how there's a wide increase in like teen pregnancies and all that stuff. There just needs to be more talk about contraceptives and stuff as well.
Hi, this is my reaction for Kendall's podcast, and I just want to say that I really liked it, and I think she did a very well job, and she spoke very clearly, and it was easy to hear her. I loved her use of interviews. It was nice to hear a different perspective on what she was trying to say. I really enjoyed the part where she talked about LGBTQ sex education in schools because I think that is very important, and the U.S. has a long way to go by educating young members of the LGBTQ community who would like to see representation in their sexual education. And like Kendall said, it could be very beneficial for them and their families, and them trying to come out to them could definitely make the process a lot easier. But I really loved the podcast, and it was a good listen.
Okay, so I just listened to Kendall's podcast and I honestly thought it was awesome. I really like that the dialogue is being opened up more for sex education, and I really hope that our future is better for sex education. So, yep.
So I just listened to Kendall's podcast about sex education. And as a women and gender studies minor who also has a very deep passion for proper sex education in schools, I think that it was amazing and so educational. And I learned things I haven't even learned about, such as I didn't know that the federal government funds abstinence based education, which is crazy because obviously, why wouldn't schools prefer to do that if they're going to get more funding for it? I thought that was really well done. And I really enjoyed the interviews and hearing personal experiences from a teacher. And also, I too went to a Catholic school, and I would agree with the other guest speakers, Samantha, about how the lack of education was insane. So overall, I thought it was great.
And this last slide is just my works I did. So, yep. Thanks for a great semester, and I hope your holidays go well.